Okay, so let's go ahead and get in with the lesson for today. So today we're going to be talking about the Monroe Doctrine. And so the Monroe Doctrine was basically, you know, a new way to look at being neutral with other countries. So you saw this picture here earlier in the poll that asked, which item stands out the most to you, and so a lot of people will probably say the stop sign because it's huge. Some people might say the dotted line, and then some people might be the off limits. And so what's happening here is Europe is starting to lose their colonies in the Americas. Like Mexico is declaring their independence, Brazil and Argentina, countries like that are declaring independence, and Europe is losing its land over here in the Americas. And then they start to think to themselves, like, hey, why don't we go back and colonize again? And that's the main word for today. Why don't we go back? Why don't we colonize the Americas again? And basically, President Monroe was like, hey, I want to be neutral. I want to stay out of your business. But here's the thing, don't you dare cross this line. Because if you attack anybody down here, it will be as if you attacked us. And so, and he did that to basically protect the North America and South America from further European, and here's that key word again, colonization. In other words, where they come back, they take over and they run things and they start the whole trading and sending raw materials, finished products, gold, and all that stuff that they did earlier to them. So yeah, so other European countries wanted to help Spain and all that. And so we get into the notes. Now, the notes are very, very, very short. And so I'm going to, what you need to do is as you're watching this video, you need to be in your notes. So I'm going to hit that. So go ahead and get into your notes here. Monroe Doctrine notes. This is first period. It doesn't matter what period it is. They'll look just like this. And you'll probably have to zoom in. I'll zoom in real big for you here, and I'll actually move my little picture up here as well. Actually, I'll go a little bit further down, that way I can control the X and all that stuff. But anyways, and then let me zoom in a little bit more. And so you got the picture there on your notes. And so again, like I like to call this being neutral, but it's neutral on steroids. And what that means is we're saying, hey, don't you dare come back over here and recolonize the Americas. And that's a big deal because beforehand we were just completely hands off. What happens, happens. Just leave us alone and we'll leave you alone. But now it's like, hey, if you come back into the Americas again and colonize again, we're going to have some big problems. Okay? So, the significance of the Monroe Doctrine. Okay, so first and foremost, European countries may not start any new colonies, and that's colonized in the Americas, both North and South. So, European countries may not, and let me double check, I want to make sure I don't steer you wrong, start any new colonies. Start any new colonies. And what we're going to do is we're going to say colonize in the Americas, and that's it. In the Americas, and that's both North and South America. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to Control B and Control U that line. That's pretty important. So number one, Europe. I'm gonna now. Anytime that you need to get these notes, just pause it. You don't have to wait on me anything. Just pause the video. But anyways, so Europe, you cannot come back over here, and there's that word. You cannot colonize the Americas. You can't do it. Don't do it. Stay over there across the pond. Don't cross the Atlantic Ocean. Don't you dare put even a small little tiny pinky toe in the Americas. Not cool. It's not going to happen. Don't do it. Number two, if Europeans invade the countries in Latin America, that's basically Latin America is basically all the countries south of the United States. It would be considered an attack on the U.S. as well. So basically, if you attack them, then we'll consider that an attack on us. So if Europeans invade the countries of Latin America, okay, let's just do it one thing at a time. If European, let me spell that right. European countries invade the countries of Latin America, comma, the countries of Latin America, comma, it would be considered an attack on the United States as well. It would be considered an attack on the United States as well. If you need to pause it, pause it. So basically, if you try and attack and you shed blood in the Americas because you're trying to colonize, you're trying to gain that land back, we're going to come at you. You're going to catch these hands, okay? And then last here, we basically said, hey, we're going to stay out of your problems, okay? So, like I say, it is very much neutrality. We're staying out of the things, but at the same time, we're not playing any games. If you mess with people over here in the colonies or in North or South America, we're gonna come after you. So we promised to stay out of, and let me double check, make sure we stayed out of European problems. Yeah, promised the U.S. Let me double check it here. Would stay out of any European problems. In other words, stay neutral. And boom, see, that's it for the notes. But let's review again simply what we've been talking about. Okay, so basically, it's saying Europe, stay off of the continents again. They are establishing their own governments. They're establishing self-governments. You need to stay out of it. Number one, do not, and there's that word again, do not colonize the Americas. Don't colonize the Americas anymore. Stay out. Number two, if you do that, if you try and do that to the Americas, we'll consider it an attack on us. In other words, if you mess with a bull, you're going to get the horns. And then number three, if you stay across this line and you handle your own things, hey, go to war with each other. We don't care what happens. Remember, we don't necessarily need Europe anymore after the War of 1812. We got factories started being built in the north. We're becoming much more economically independent. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. The Monroe Doctrine, very, very big deal. Do not colonize the Americas again. And I'm going to send you, I'm about to start another video that will review some of the things that you might need to know for the quiz. Remember, I'm going to be counting this quiz for a grade, and so make sure that you complete this Nearpod all the way to the end, because the grade that I'm actually going to be taking will be at the end, minus the participation grade for the week. So, yeah, I'm going to end it here. If you need to pause it at the end, you can pause it at the end. But yeah, we'll come back with the review video, and then you'll take the quiz.